I'm Dave Butfield. These days, fishing is so much more than just soaking your bait in the water. And you may have some questions like, where's the most productive area to go fishing for your target species? When's the best time to catch that species? And of course, what is the best bait to use? Throughout my travels both here in Australia and overseas, I've been very fortunate to wet a line for some pretty amazing species. From barramundi in India, giant kingfish in New Zealand, and monster bream on the south coast of New South Wales, just to name a few. In that time, I've learnt so many different ways to catch a fish, and now it's my aim to try to pass that information on to you.
Or I hook a small one, I'm hooked on fishing again.
On this week's show, we travelled 4 hours north of Sydney to beautiful Port Macquarie. Port Macquarie was first visited by Europeans in 1818, when John Oxley reached the Pacific Ocean. He named the location after the Governor of New South Wales, Lachlan Macquarie. Port Macquarie is the ideal playing ground for any angler, with its wide range of different fish species, from snapper, kingfish, bream, flathead, freshwater bass, and our target species today, Jewfish.
Yep.
I've got a fish. Mate, I think it's a flatty.
Okay, doesn't matter, we'll just get him in anyway.
Yep. So here we are, beautiful Port Macquarie with Mark Saxon from Castaway.
It's a Jewy.
Charters. And mate, this is probably my third or fourth cast. And, little Jewy. Yeah, there you go. So, and we're on our Jew. And I just said to Mark, I had a couple of touches and down and strike and we're on. So, you will get the little touches from time to time.
Yes.
And other times I'll just swallow it down. So there's our Jewy, and
look at that lure.
we're using a nemesis. This is in the Cajun chicken, and as you've seen here, he swallowed it right down. So he didn't want that lure at all, Mark.
No, I don't think you like that.
I thought it was a flatty at the start because I had that bit of a shake as you get that flatty shake. But then Mark said, no, I think it's a Jewy. So, and that's what we're after. So today, it's Jewy fishing, and Mark, maybe later on some whiting.
Definitely,
get the time.
definitely
Well,
go for a
we don't
whiting.
get the time, mate.
Yeah, that's exactly it.
So there's our lure. That's a nemesis, and it's a big lure. You look into that fish. That's a big lure, and so they will take it, no problems at all.
Lovely little fish.
So where we're fishing here, Mark,
Yep.
is there a lot of small fish, or you will get the bigger ones as well?
At times we get a lot of fish like this, Dave. A lot of fish like this, but we do also get along this bank like fish 10 to 12 kilos. Don't tend to get the 20 kilo jobs. We've had hooked up some big fish here and not landed them on the light gear.
Yep.
But we use that light gear because the majority of the fish we catch will be between little to say 10, 12 kilos.
Okay. Well, it's a good stuff. 3 or 4 casts, and we've got a Jewy on board. So, which is a good sign. So
Yep.
hopefully it's just a start of things to come, and we can get a few more on board today.
We'll get that back in the water.
Good stuff, Mark. Off he goes. So Mark, I'm using your scent here. This is called Sax Scent. It's a great product. It's like not a Vaseline, but it's sticky like a Vaseline,
Yep.
so it stays on your lures.
It's a gel-based one, yeah.
That's right. And even though these are scented, you'll put them on your gulps.
Definitely. We've been using the gulps, and obviously they've got their inbuilt scent in it.
Yep.
And you'll get a couple of fish, starts to go a bit quiet, put a bit of scent on, start to get bites again.
Okay,
You'll
great.
start to get bites. It's very, very good like that.
Okay, great. And you can put this on hard bodies as well. Don't be scared to use this on hard bodies,
Hard-bodied
because
lures,
the fish
yep.
comes up, especially kingfish.
Yep.
Kingfish can nudge a lure,
Yeah.
and they're tasting that really.
yep.
There's no scent on it.
Yep.
They're not going to hit it. But if you put that little bit extra on it,
it makes a
make
big difference. It does make a difference on those hard days. We've seen it and we've proven it here. We've like hundreds of clients have seen it.
Yep.
On those days where you're getting fish half-hearted biting and they're not hooking up and they're taking it, adding scent definitely triggers them to be more aggressive on the take.
Well, check it out. Probably a must-have in your tackle box. Some sack scent. So we've moved up the river now. As you've seen, we've just left the bridge, and Mark, we've got one Jewy off there, and we've got a few bites as well. So, which is pretty good, but we're at the wrong tide. We're waiting for this tide change.
Yep, exactly. We're waiting for the tide. We've got about an hour. We've got about an hour here for the tide to be high.
Yep.
We're working this. It's still a little bit fast, but I'm not overly concerned about it here.
Everything's looking good.
I'm liking it. I think we'll get one here.
Mate, we're on the board at the moment, so that's the main thing. We've got one on the board.
Not big enough yet.
I know it's not big enough, but it's still, we're in the right area, and they're there. So we've just got to get the lure in the right spot.
Yes, that's right. We've just got to get the lure in the right spot and get one of these fish to take one of these scented lures.
That's right, exactly. Well,
Let's
get
do
into it. Bloody?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, just a little. Legal, but it's a flatty. First flatty of the morning. Didn't mind a 7-inch grub.
Well, that's some of the bycatch, isn't it?
Yeah, that is the bycatch, mate. Yeah, you'll get some days when you're Jewfishing, you'll get like, you'll get a dozen fish. That's probably on the small end of the scale of the ones you get when you're using the Jewy gear, the Jewy plastics. Don't be afraid, I reckon, to use the bigger lures for your flathead, like to get those bigger flathead.
That's right, exactly. Well, good work. It's another fish on the board.
It's not the right one, but we're working on it.
Just dropped one before, so a little hit anyway. So who knows? Who knows? They're out there, mate. They are out there. Well, we've just moved locations, and Mark, the Jewies have gone off the bite, but we've got to wait till that tide change, don't we?
That's correct, Dave. Yeah, we're just waiting for now. We're going to fish the bottom of the tide.
Yep.
And I think we just fill in a bit of time here with these whiting on these flats.
That's right. We're going to use some poppers or what do you call these? Pencil poppers.
Pencil poppers, walk the dog style lures, splashes.
That's right.
They do make a bit of commotion on the surface, yeah.
Now, even though we're using hard bodies, we're going to use Mark's scent here, the sack scent. Now, this is a golden prawn.
That's the golden prawn.
It makes sense because you get a lot of prawns through here. So we'll rub that on our lure. I'll get like that. And just rub it on. You have to go crazy. Just rub it, I reckon, probably a jar per lure.
Yeah, that's close.
So just rub that over it, and that's ready to go. So when the fish does come up to it, and even though they might be just pushing it with their nose, they'll get the flavour there. So I think it's a real prawn. So it's pretty exciting. I can't wait. So let's get them out there, mate.
Let's do it. Let's do it. Oh, did you see that right behind me then? Oh, and again. Yeah, hang on.
So go home, mate. Hey, what's the average size you'll get for here with the whiting?
Yeah, mate, we get the little ones too, but we get them like 35 centimetres. The other day I had a client on that got half a dozen to 35, 38 centimetres. Yep. And yeah, he had a ball. So they're not shabby fish. He's a nice little whiting.
Rocket.
And that's a good thing about the poppers, Dave. They fight to the end.
Not a bad fish, mate.
That's not a bad fish.
Mate, the thing about the whiting, even though we're putting all these back, they're beautiful eating.
They are.
They are great eating.
They are one of the better table fish you'll get, Dave, I reckon.
Well, there you go, and that's something so simple anyone can do. Just have a small lure, like this little sugar pen, that's the one we're using here. You reckon that yellow colour, that gold colour? Look,
I've used a lot of lures in this river system, and that colour there has just been ace. In this river here. It's a very close to a prawn, and we've just found that sort of outfishes the others. Not every day, but 9 times out of 10, that colour. And he's off.
Beautiful. Good work, Mark.
Oh, yes.
Oh, yes, good work, Mark. Woo! Well, there you go. I've had a couple of hits just seen, but I don't know, maybe I'm not working it quick enough, or...
No, I just watched... Oh, he's gone, Dave. Yep. Anyway,
But
No,
not
you
really
work it-
aggressive, are they? Not like
They're not hammering it.
Yeah, yeah.
They're a bit like the Jews there at the moment. They're just a little bit tentative.
Yep.
But they're there.
They
That
are
was
there.
that was a good fish, and he
yeah.
just never stayed hooked up.
So we're just going to, I'm changing my lures over. This is Mark's lure, so I'll put that straight in my tackle box. So that's Mark's lure. We'll put that back on the edge. And we're getting a lot of follows. We just can't get that hook up. And it might be just a lure change. They get a little bit more aggressive because they are following it, but they're just not, you know, how you see that bang and explosion action. They're just following it, giving a little hit. Yellow seems to be working, Mark.
Yep.
Well, I'm going to
Definitely.
try a yellow lure, yellow Daiwa lure. Okay, this is a minnow press. This is a presso,
Good lure.
little presso. So I'm going to give that a go and have a few casts. And there's a few fish on this edge here. So who knows what's going to happen. Yellow lure, I've never used one before. I've used these little pressos before and caught fish on them, but I've never used the yellow ones.
Hi, I'm Stefan from Benson Archery, and today I'm here to speak to you a little bit about some of the accessories that go onto a bow to make you a lot better shot. So the first thing that we're going to speak about is one of the most important things on the bow is your arrow rest. So it's obviously where your arrow sits when you're shooting. They come in a number of different styles depending on whether you're shooting target or hunting. For hunting, most of us prefer to use some sort of a capture rest, so it's actually held in there. Makes it a lot easier to use. They come in a lot of different styles depending on what you're doing and how you want to set up the bow. Okay, so the next very important thing to get for your bow is a sight. Your sight is what you're going to use to aim the bow with. So this is being a hunting bow, I've got a multiple pin sight on here, so it's got 5 pins that are set up that are preset for different distances. So it's a matter of working out how far away your target is and then choosing the appropriate pin to make the arrow land where you want it to. They come in a number of different styles. Once again, hunting, we tend to use multiple pins. You can use a single pin sight for hunting as well, but a lot of the time the single pins are also used for competition target usage. The next important thing to go on your bow is your stabilizer. So it's the weight that's on the front of the bow. It not only helps you by adding a little bit of weight down lower on the bow, which makes it easier to aim, but they're also very important for reducing the vibration out of the bow and how much noise they make. So they come in a number of different lengths depending on what you want to use them for. Again, anything from 8 to 10 inches are great for hunting, where if you're into the competition shooting, you see them in the Olympics is where they use big long ones like that. Now, very, very important on a compound bow is your release aid. So gone are the days where we used to draw the bow back with your fingers and let it go. These days, your release aid, you either, depending on the type, you're either holding onto it, or this one's a wrist pull, so it clips around your wrist. And that would just clip onto the bowstring itself, and then I would fire that off by slowly squeezing on the trigger until it lets the string go. So today we're showing you some of the accessories that fit on your compound bow. So if you want to bling your bow up, you can get you some great information, jump on our website, bensonarchery.com.au.
On a toad.
You got him.
There you go.
It's a Bream.
Well, Mark just said to me before, I think I said a Bream on that red marker. And I've put a little crawl, camo crawl on there, cut the tail off him, and looks like we've got a Bream, mate.
We certainly have there, Dave.
And just slowly, when I cast it out, let it sink down, and just light little movement. It's
Nice
not a bad
fish.
Bream either.
It's a nice one.
He's got a lot of go in him, hasn't he?
He has.
Nice fish. All right. And Bingo. Bingo was his name.
Nice little yellowfin.
Yep, so just using that little camo, so I quickly swapped over to the soft plastic and just to see if there was a Bream on there and see if I can get a whiting as well. So, and there's our Bream, and not a bad Bream. I'll get that hook out and show you that plastic. Now there's our, if you can see that, our camo crawl. So as you can see, I've cut off the bottom part of it, and he just looks like a little, maybe a little nipper,
Yep.
a little crab. So and he's just flooding around, just little movements. And
I like the way you've put the hook in the bottom of that, Dave.
yeah,
Like,
exactly, yeah.
by trimming it up, you've got it right there. Fish can't nip at it too much because they like to nip off those
That's
things.
right, exactly.
That's beautiful.
But that's a pretty good Bream.
That is. Very good. You got him.
You got it.
Good
Oh,
one.
not a bad fish, mate.
No, he's a good one.
Just working these edge like we said, and working that edge and just letting that
over the
fish pick that up. Totally different style of fishing from using a lure. I like just to use these so softly, just a little tap tap, make it try to look realistic.
Nice
God, I've got
elephant.
some kick on them at the moment.
Yeah.
What do you feed them up here, mate?
Saxon.
Red Bull.
Well
There
done.
you go, beautiful.
Nice fish. That's
Excellent.
a nice bream.
That is a lot better than that last one.
Definitely. That's a nice fish. We'd be happy with that.
Yeah, exactly. Aren't we fishing a comp today, mate?
Well, yeah, exactly. Well, it feels like we are.
I know, we're under pressure today, but you know, like we're getting fish. We're starting to get fish, and sometimes, and I've been doing this for a lot of years, and you struggle all day to get a fish, and the last 2 or 3 hours of the day, you get all your fish.
That's right, Dave. Like, it's not, people do get the wrong impression from us that we're catching all the time.
That's right.
But sometimes it might be just that bite period that's an hour. Sometimes you've got to be there for that bite period, and it might take you 3 hours to get that 1 hour's bite period.
And after that, bang, they switch off again.
That's it.
We'll give him a quick measurement,
Yep.
get a photo of him, and get him back in the water. That was great fishing, fantastic. Well, as you see, when I cast it out there, I let the bail arm, I leave the bail arm open, it'll sink down, hit the bottom, and we can use the electric motor to hold us in that spot. And just let it sit there for a minute and see if a bream picks it up on that drop, and you'll feel that line coming off, and then I'll close the bail arm over. So, and then once I've closed the bail arm over, it's just a little tip, 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 just a little flick, just small little flicks. Yabbies don't go crazy, just a little flutter. And just to excite the bream.
Flatty. Or bream.
Oh, you're on.
I'm on.
Oh yeah, you just got that out there.
I did.
Oh, beautiful. I think it's
Well,
plenty.
if you can't beat them, you've got to join them, Dave. You know what they say in fishing?
That's it, exactly. Beautiful. Good work, mate. Mate, that is the lure to use at the moment for bream.
It is.
Oh, I'm on. I'll just keep the bigger fish, mate.
No one likes to show off. even if it is your show, Dave.
That's great.
Very good.
That's a legal bream anyway, mate.
Yeah, that's a legal bream.
Then I've got 6 pound fluorocarbon, and I've got a nice big length of fluorocarbon there, probably about, what we got, about 8-10 foot of
Yep.
fluorocarbon there.
That's
so,
another cracker.
Yep, just in case the bream see it, so you want to keep it, well, that's about the same as yours, mate.
Yep.
This one's just got a bit of heart.
It's just, I'm using 20 pound, Dave. No, I'm not.
All right, oh, here's a good bream.
Is it really solid? You can see that across the mouth.
Oh mate, that's not a bad bream either.
That's a good bream.
That's another great bream. God, we're doing well on the bream today. And that's the thing, you've got to always have plan A, plan B, or plan C.
Exactly.
I think we're on plan N.
D. A.
So, you know, if one thing, oh, that's a great bream. Blue nose on him, look at the blue nose.
Yep. Beautiful fish.
Put that out first.
Yep, you got it. We'll get this one out. Simple technique.
It is
It's a simple technique and very effective.
See you later, mate. You have a good day. Beautiful.
Let's get another.
There we go, get in touch. Get in touch. The thing is with these gulps, they are, especially the crawls, they're very soft, so when the bream picks it up, they can swallow it really easy. Yeah, you can hook it pretty easily. So, cast that back out. Oh, you don't know. Funny sometimes with the bream.
Isn't it?
You think I've got a small fish and all of a sudden they'll just take off like a rocket. That's all right, bream. God, I don't think he knows he's hooked.
I don't think so.
Now he'll kick in now. You'll see our ugly head, mate, and he'll be off.
I'm hearing you.
There's nothing wrong with that fish.
I think that's about the biggest one today, isn't it, Dave?
I wouldn't say that. Wouldn't say that.
No. That has to be close.
You swallow that right down
There
there.
he has really made a gob of that.
There you go, beautiful. Hey, that's a good bream.
That's a good bream.
Mate, why aren't we fishing a comp today?
Yeah, exactly. I'd be very happy with these in a comp.
Fantastic fish. Well, here we are, Mark, at the end of the day. Mate, look, we struck out on the Jewies this afternoon, got a Jewy this morning, waiting for that tide change, wanted to fish this area on the low.
Yep.
Got whiting on the little popper, little
Yes,
sugar pen. And then we got some bream,
Bream
which
on
we
the
could have got
plastics.
another 10 if we wanted to.
Easy the way they were biting. That was a good session on the bream there.
It definitely was.
We could have got a lot more fish there. Unfortunately, this afternoon the conditions look great. We've been catching dew along this stretch. Just this evening they haven't performed for us. They haven't come out and played. It must be the camera day.
That's it, mate. They're scared, mate. But look, you win some and you lose some, and that's what fishing's all about.
Exactly. Yep. If you caught them all the time.
Now, Mark, you do freshwater, so you Jewfish and bream, whiting. Also, you do bass fishing.
That's correct. We do bass fishing in the Macquarie here and the Wilson, and also we go to Kempsey and we fish the Macquarie River.
Great.
And there's some great fish up there.
Well, next time, mate, I reckon bass. I reckon we'll hit the bass, and I know there's some big bass up here.
Oh yeah, there is. There's some honkers, mate. That'll be well worth having a go for.
Mate, thanks very much. I've had a great day.
My pleasure.
Now, if you want to go out with Mark, jump on our website at hooktv.com.au, click on the link and give Mark a call, because you have a great day. I hope you enjoyed the show. I've had a fantastic day. I'll see you next week somewhere around Australia.
Water makes it clear to see that fishing's just like therapy. The worries of the world all just drift away when I'm out here fishing for the day. So if I hook a big one or I hook a small one, I'm hooked on fishing again.